What's up, Blur Gang? I'm back with another tutorial. Today we're going to be doing a mid fade. We're going to keep the length on top, and I'm going to show you guys how I use color enhancements. So to start, I'm going to establish my first guideline, no guard, closed. Since it's a mid fade, I'm going to remove my C cup and create my first guide right under that box. Now moving on to our second guideline, we're going to go ahead and open up our lever. If you don't know, when the lever is all the way open, it's cutting it at its longest, as opposed to when it's all the way closed, it's cutting at its shortest. So with this lever open, no guard, we're going to go ahead and create our second guide about ½ inch parallel to our first. Just a tip to remember: when we're establishing guidelines, we're using our blade flush. When we're blending out guidelines, we're using the corners of our blade. Alright, so right now I'm going to pick up my hitters, and I'm going to go ahead and start to bald everything under that first no guard closed guideline. So what I'm going to do is bald everything under it, and when I get close to the first guideline, I'm going to begin to flick out into that, blending into that, and not creating another line. You're going to see that when I get close to that line, I start to use a lot of my corner work. So cornering, remember we talked about this, that it's blending. It's used for blending and getting into dark spots. So right now I'm actually fading down. What fading down means is that you're fading from long to short, as opposed from cutting short to long. So the next level down from no guard closed is my hitters, and that's what I mean by fading down. It's going to prep me for this step right here, which is my foil shavers. Using my foil shavers, I'm just going to knock down all that stubble right to skin, and this level in the fade is really going to make your fade pop out. Alright, so now that I'm done balding them out, I'm going to go ahead and begin to blend out that second guideline I established with my no guard lever all the way open. To remove this guideline, we're going to go ahead and use our quartering technique, only cutting with our corners, blending with our corners, and our lever play technique. So what lever play means is that you're playing with your lever in between open and closed, doing whatever it takes to take out that guide without passing it. The way I like to blend is controlling my clipper to do micro movements along the guideline. Combined with my cornering technique and lever play, this helps me remove that line real quick. Just in case you're wondering, I'm using the BABYLISS Black Effects Stay Gold Edition clippers. This clipper is really special because it actually comes with a graphite fade blade. Graphite does not heat up at all, and since it's a fade blade, it cuts real close, and we really need that in these tight skin fades. So shout out to BABYLISS for making a phenomenal clipper. So with my clipper in hand, I'm just going to go ahead and fade in his beard. We're going to do so starting open, and then using our lever play, we're going to blend no guard closed into our hitter lines. Alright, so after I remove that second guideline, I'm going to go ahead and slap my number 1 guard on, and we're going to take it through the motions. So what taking a guard through the motions means is that we start with our lever open. After we're done cutting with open, we move our lever to middle, and then we move our lever finally to close. So those 3 steps collectively I refer to as the motions. Some tips right now are I'm using again my cornering technique, getting into those dark spots and those crevices and blending out the line, not raising it or creating another line. Alright, so after I finish with that number 1 guard, I'm going to go ahead and take it through the motions with my 1.5 guard. After I finish with my 1.5 guard, I'm just going to go ahead and use my half guard and take that through the motions starting from open. On this side, I'm going to do the 1.5 step and the number 1 step in reverse. I'm going to do the 1.5 first, just to show you guys that a system is a system as long as it makes sense. You could do it in any order and achieve the same end result. Now I'm using my number 1 guard, and we're going to go ahead and continue to fade down. The steps from here are the same as the other side, so I'm not going to bore you guys too much with my voice. If you aren't already, you guys should go ahead and follow me on Instagram at BLURRY. I also have a hair product brand. It's at blurrybrand.com. You can see all the products there. I'm trying to create a product line that caters to every single client's needs. So I'm working at that. You can see what I got so far, and I'll be showcasing a lot of the products in these videos. Alright, so now that I've finished my fade, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the lineup. Right now I'm using my clip over comb technique to taper down the lineup. When you taper down and prep for your hitters, the line is a lot sharper. Same thing goes for like neck tapers and all that. Like, you want to taper down your line before you hit it. now with my hitters in hand, I'm going to go ahead and start from the middle and work my way to the sides. This tends to give you the most symmetrical lineup, but you always want to find the highest point in the hairline and start there, within reason of course, because if you don't start there and you start under the highest point, when you get to that point there's going to be a hole in your lineup and it's not going to be full. Alright, so two major keys from when you're doing lineups. The first one is to always use your finger as a brace or a pivot point on the head. This allows you to have more control and stability over your trimmer. The second major key is to always line up your client from their perspective. So you want to make that hairline straight to how they see it in the mirror. So from their perspective. You don't want to stand to the side, make the hairline straight from that perspective, and then when they look at themselves it's all slanted. So now I got my straight blade, and I'm just going to go ahead and go over all the work I did with my hitters. And what this is going to do is it's going to knock down that stubble to skin, and it's going to really make my lines pop. Alright, so as a detailing step, I'm just going to go ahead and use my freehand technique, no guard closed, and we're going to go ahead and knock down all those flyaways that are sticking out of his silhouette. Alright, so to finish this cut, I'm going to go ahead and use my BLURRY cordless airbrush. It's to apply some Kiss Express semi-permanent hair dye. So what this dye is going to do is it's going to stain the skin and the hair for a few days, even after a wash, so it's great for clients who want a lasting color enhancement effect. This is opposed to hair fibers that get washed out right away. I prefer to use semi-permanent dye because it actually lasts and it looks very natural. You guys could actually purchase that airbrush at blurrybrand.com. So right now I'm going over all the enhancement with my straight blade, and then we're going to go ahead and take his beard down to a 1.5 with a grain. He likes to keep his beard line up natural, so we're not going to touch that today. Alright guys, that will conclude my tutorial today. Thank you for watching my blurry mid-fade tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys want to see next. I appreciate you guys so much. Blurry out.